Hey everybody, just a heads up heading into this week's episode of To Kill A Delibird that, as you'll hear in a moment, we were on a completely different audio setup than we normally are, that we evidently did not test nearly enough. We tested it, I thought, thoroughly enough, but the audio came out pretty rough, and I've tried to fix it to the best of my abilities, which are admittedly not that much. It's still totally listenable, and our conversation of the second movie is pretty good. I didn't want to just scrap it and redo it. That would feel very disingenuous. Just know I'm not particularly happy with the quality of this audio, and it will be back to normal next week. And the next time we do this setup, we will make sure to test it very thoroughly to make sure that it is up to the TKAD standards that you know and love. So yeah, just a warning, Graham's gain I think was too high, mine was too low. He's very peaky, I'm very tinny, we echo on each other's mics. We did not do enough testing, and we will make sure to rectify that the next time that we do this setup. Otherwise, it is a perfectly normal TKAD episode, so we'll throw it right into our discussion of Pokemon Movie 2000, The Power of One. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to a very special episode of To Kill A Delibird. Why is it special? Well, you'll find out. One of those reasons is because today we're looking at Pokemon, the movie 2000, The Power of One. That's a special occasion in and of itself. And you know why it also is a special occasion? Well, my co-host will tell you. I'm Kellan, and I'm joined, as always, by Graham. Graham, how you doing?
I'm doing great. And what you probably can't tell at home, but hopefully you will tell by the fire of it all, the electricity, the grass, the fighting type of it all, is we are in the same room, which is the first time for this podcast.
Incredible.
We are reviewing Pokemon the movie 2000, The Power of One, but it's really the power of two in one room.
It really is.
So this is big, Kellan.
It's wild.
I've never done an in-person podcast.
This is very fucking weird.
It is very weird. Aren't you used to just I'm used to talking to you.
I don't see your face.
Being in the void.
Yeah.
Yeah. Completely being in the void.
Yeah, you're just like an ethereal being when we do this normally.
Where will our jokes land when it's in person?
Well, there won't be a Discord delay. So I think they'll land a little better.
They should land
hopefully.
Better. Yeah.
Hopefully.
Okay, I know that we're in the same room. We're talking. I almost want to pause after you talk, though. Just because I'm so used to it.
Just in case there's something else coming that the delay is accounting for.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm like, can I talk right after he's done talking? What even is real life?
This is strange. Holy crap.
Those of you who spend a lot of time online understand.
Yeah. So yeah, we're on a different setup today with actual audio equipment, which is crazy. So if we sound different or bad, whoopsies.
And it'll also go back to the usual after
next week,
after the movie.
Yeah.
So
don't expect this ever.
Right.
Or maybe next year. We're celebrating the holiday, visiting our family in the same location. So maybe in a year we'll do it again. Who knows?
Right, for Pokemon Forever.
Yeah.
You think that would be around in a year?
Maybe. I don't know. The Johto arc is so long, man.
That's true.
Takes forever. Anyway, we got a lot to talk about.
We got a lot to talk about. We're going to spend most of this talking about the movie for our opening. So listeners who are normal to the podcast will know we do start with a bit of shenanigans. We're not going to do too much usual banter, but we do have a thing planned. So we're going to do the top 12, or basically each person's top 6.
Yep.
Each of us came up with a top 6 To Kill A Delibird moments. So
from year one.
From year one. So this is the season 1 TKAD recap. Yes, you got it. It is a flashbacks episode.
Just like Pokemon. It's beautiful.
Just like Pokemon. We are reusing things, but not actually, because we're going to be discussing them new. If you are new to the podcast, maybe this will give you some incentive to dive back into our year one. A lot of other podcasts are doing this at the year one mark. We're just going to talk about the things we've liked while doing this, or the bits we thought were fun.
Yeah, so we each have our own personal top 6.
We haven't heard each other.
We don't know what the others are, so maybe we'll line up, maybe we won't. We'll find out. But let's get into that, I guess.
Okay.
Who starts?
Okay. I'll start. Okay. I can start. My number 6 favorite TKAD moment: load-bearing fossil.
Oh,
this was a joke of Kellan's. We were talking about the island made of Kabuto and how when they fell apart, the island fell into the sea. And then Kellan got the joke, and I was
fossil, baby.
I was both proud and angry because I was searching for the joke, and he got it.
It was a great one.
It was a good joke.
All right, my number 6. Another one of my jokes. Meowth gooing all over the Scyther.
That's a pretty recent
That
one.
was recent. That's very recent.
Where
But
Meowth shot his goo while he was watching Scyther's bathe.
there might be some recency bias in there, but that was a good moment. I'm very proud of that one.
I actually did have to like think pretty hard to remember older stuff. Otherwise, it would be all things from the
I
past like
scrolled
2
through
weeks.
the shorts on my way here.
Meowth shooting his goo.
Yeah,
That was
that was a good one.
Scyther goo.
All right, number 5. What's your 5th?
Okay, my number 5 is the hockey rules brainstorming
Good one.
episode. So
Also
we did
very
one
good.
where we tried to apply the 4-pore method of random sampling categories to hockey, and I thought that was a lot of fun.
It was a very fun moment.
Unleashing bees in the hockey rink, covering it in honey.
Sending clowns after them. That was my favorite. That was a good one.
Clowns was really good. What about like the ghost pepper challenge in the hockey game, stuff like that?
Oh, yeah. All right, my number 5. From a guest, Nolan equates Kellan to an Alexa when he tunes out of the Lord of the Rings Star Wars discussion.
That was really fun.
That was a good
just
one.
Because so Kellan was not paying attention at all when Nolan was talking about. I mean, he was
Something.
going off.
I don't
too,
know.
So
You guys went into another podcast.
yeah,
in that
basically,
moment.
Basically, I would like to think
I was
that
scrolling Reddit.
there has been the collective of a Lord of the Rings podcast, not a good one, but probably enough material for a Lord of the Rings podcast. Just like piecemealed throughout this podcast.
Yeah, and the best part about that is Nolan not being able to contain himself after making his own joke, which was just
And
beautiful.
Nolan does have a delightful laugh.
Very good. All right, number 4.
My number 4 is Pizza in Paris
As a whole,
by Edmund
the whole
Chigamarat,
the whole saga.
Pizza in Paris saga. So this is where we decided that we were curious if Kellan would even know if I made up a piece of literature. So I did. And it was a story.
and then it
But a
spun
man,
off,
yeah, it spun off, and we got help from ChatGPT and blah, blah, blah.
and I still got to write the actual one act
Stage
at some
play,
point.
'cause
Yeah, I'll do
Because
that
we
eventually.
love Pizza in Paris.
It was great. All right, number 4, the ongoing saga of Kellan's never seen a movie.
Okay. The concept.
The concept.
overall
Yeah, I've got a
concept.
couple in here that are just the general bit that is ongoing,
Mhm.
because I didn't want to fill up the list with all similar things. So, like, if I have to pick one thing in terms of all of my movie ignorance, it is The Sixth Sense with the Onyx.
That was the funniest. So
That
this
was a good one.
where Kellan decided to use a phrase, and then he used
He
the
sixth
sixth sense.
senses the
Sixth
Onyx.
senses it, not knowing what that movie's about at all. He thought it was like Cesar Romero's Dog Whisperer.
Yeah.
That's not Cesar Romero.
Thought he could
Who
speak
is that?
Pokemon.
Who
I
is
don't know.
the Dog Whisperer?
I don't know.
Oh,
Dog
yeah,
the Bounty Hunter? No, that's, that's another person. I don't know.
That is a different person. Yeah. But yeah, Kellan has not seen. He's
I've seen Spinal
movies,
Tap.
and he's seen the Mike
Mike Myers.
Cat in the Hat.
Yep.
You've seen the Jim Carrey Grinch?
Yeah.
Probably. Yeah. What other movies have you seen? You haven't seen Schindler's List. You haven't
I
seen
mean,
Lord of the Rings.
I've seen all the Shrek. So.
I mean, those are good, but there's not a lot of like non-animated stuff.
Well, there is. I just can't think of them. All the Hunger Games movies.
Okay.
I mean, I've seen
okay.
those,
Okay.
so.
Right.
Catching Fire is still the best one.
Yeah, that movie's so boring.
Nah, you're insane.
I think that movie caught fire and burnt my boredom. No, burnt my interests.
Whatever. Number 3.
I just collectified the Nolan episodes. So my number 3 is Nolan. But to call out a couple jokes that came out of those, one, the whole Jordan Peterson, Ben Shapiro Butterfree thing.
Oh, yeah. That was a
We
good
were
one.
talking about like assuming Butterfree's gender and stuff. And then the other one from the other Nolan episode was Kellan's No Room at the Inn, kicking that off. And that kind of was the origin of our weird Veggie Tales
Would
thing.
you say it's the Genesis?
Whoa! Make jokes like this, and we're gonna have an exodus. We're gonna kick you out of here.
Get out of here, Paul. See one of the books? I don't know.
John Paul,
John,
George, and the ugly one. Yeah.
Jean-Luc Picard. I'm a little tired, so we're off
Me
to a
too.
good start.
Me too.
All right.
Okay, that's up to you now.
My number
3.
3, my favorite of Graham's opening bits, Graham's top 10 worst holidays,
Oh,
especially the
One of
skin
the
that
early
forms on
ones.
Gravy Day. That was
Lactoderm Day.
Lactoderm Day.
Well, I'm sure through the holidays you've experienced a lot of lactoderm.
Yeah,
This
a lot
is
of
an
gravy.
important phenomenon that doesn't get enough attention in our society, in our busy society.
I had such a laughing fit about that, though, so that was beautiful.
That was
Trying
fun.
to hold in a fart day. That was a good one too.
Well, I don't even remember them. I would have to look them up. I'm glad I had an impression.
All right, what's your number 2?
My number 2 is a list, and it's the top movies for cats featuring Shauna. And I like that one, especially by how much Kellan disliked it.
It's so easy.
It was all cat fun.
It's just the easiest cat butts. One of them was you stole it from a Garfield movie.
And I didn't even realize it. Yeah, it was
Which
Tale
is
of
funny.
Two Kitties, right?
Love
And
it.
I was like, I didn't even know there was a movie.
All right, my number 2. Kellan nearly pisses himself laughing, recapping a 2-minute segment of Mr. Bean.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a good one.
That is a good one. So this is where Kellan, what Mr. Bean episode were you talking about? I don't want you to
Back to
retell
School,
it. That
Mr.
will
Bean.
go totally wrong. Yeah, and they find him like
He goes to
half
judo,
down
gets the
the
wrong
guy.
pants,
Right.
pulls him out of the stall, shines his shoes. It's a whole fucking thing.
Okay. Well, we have to get to my number 1 then.
What's your number? Is that
The
bad?
Mr. Bean meltdown. I'm actually impressed that this is the first time we've had a tie though. We've had a shared one. That's impressive. Yes, my number 1 is the Mr. Bean meltdown. That was very funny. I think grown man devours himself mentally, incapacitates his soul
I was literally crying. I had tears in my eyes.
for the glory of Mr. Bean.
Incredible.
Rowan Atkinson destroys young boy.
Ugh.
Oh, that
All right.
sounds bad.
Before I get to my number 1, I got a few honorable mentions because I was just like going through and noting all the notable ones. This is where our crossovers come in because I have Load Bearing Fossil.
Okay.
I
Good
have
joke.
the Pizza and Paris Saga.
Okay.
I have the 4-Por Cross Hockey.
Okay.
And then I have the first movie is an anticlimactic 5.5.
The 4-por is heartless.
A fickle
The
bitch.
4-por hates art.
All right, and in my number 1, again, I've kind of categorized a lot into one. Any and all references to the Bible.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if I have to pick one, it is No Room at the Inn.
No Room
From
at
the
the
Blaine
Inn, I
episode.
think started it.
It was the Genesis.
But-
Yes.
Oh, you made the same joke twice.
Ayo.
So we've been trying to find biblical themes in Pokemon
And we found a lot.
and we have found a lot, and not because we're doing
Super
this from a religious
yeah.
angle, but because it's hilarious
It
to
is
us.
very funny.
Yeah, and we're definitely going to hell for it.
Absolutely.
We've gone way
I
too
was
far.
going there already.
I think they got way better music in hell than in heaven.
Probably.
I mean, come on, what's heaven? The choir of angels?
It's all the hymns.
In church, when they were like, and there'd be a choir of angels, and they would sing a song like this, and I was like,
There's like 2 good hymns.
I'm like, that's ass.
Yeah.
2 good hymns.
There's
Okay.
2 good hymns.
TKAD does the top hymns. What is it?
Baptized and Set Free. That's a good one.
Okay. I got the old rugged cross.
I
'Cause
don't know
it's
that one.
fucking weird.
That's the only one I can name, so let's move on. Cool. All right, that was fun though. I think we can make that a yearly tradition.
Yes. A look back on a
last
year
year.
of TKAD.
And why is it a top 6? Because fuck you. That's why. Felt like it.
Top 6 because 6 factorizes into 2 and 3, and there's 2 of us.
And 3 of
And-
you.
Nailed it. Oh.
Okay.
Okay, I really want to talk about this movie.
Yes, let's talk about the movie.
This was a ridiculous movie.
And
Now,
we may be here a while, so we should get
I
into it.
do. Okay, saw this movie as a kid. I saw it in theaters when it came out, presumably in the year 2000. It's in the title. I do not remember anything about it. And watching it, I was kind of like, well, that's why.
I thought it was good.
But I'm not saying it's bad. There are actually some really good things
Mhm.
about it that I'll want to bring up as we go along. I think that it does a couple of things that don't help itself be memorable, though.
Yeah.
And it's mostly like the plot is kind of almost too self-contained. Like the Mewtwo one, at least. Okay, the first Pokemon movie is much better. I do think this is a step down from the first Pokemon movie.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's because I think that one had a really interesting thematic idea, and I think this one does not.
Yeah. And I mean, that one just has like more story and more exposition and stuff.
More
this one,
story,
This
yeah.
one's got a lot of fucking action scenes. And they're
Which
sweet.
is fun. Yeah.
They're great. But
Yeah.
it's not as much to talk about, to delve in. And also, the villain just kind of fucks off halfway through.
The villain is like,
Who is he?
yeah, we'll get
They
into
never even say his name.
Well, he's this Final Fantasy wannabe son
Yeah.
of a bitch, right? Like, he looks like he's out of a JRPG that isn't Pokemon,
Yeah.
right? He looks like he's out of a Tales of game or
Mhm.
something. Okay, the thing that my favorite aspect of this movie, though, by a mile, the music.
Smoking. Oh. Yeah,
And
the music's good
Slowking.
too.
And
yeah.
Slowking.
Slowking's the best though. I love it.
Slowking's the best. The music was actually really good.
Yeah,
the
I noted it a few
score
times.
goes hard.
Yeah, and it's not like reused music. It's like pretty much all original.
It's like original music. I would even listen to parts of the soundtrack on my own.
Absolutely.
I thought it was hitting that hard. I thought the soundtrack was really good. And then we've got The Power of One by Donna Summers and Everybody Pokemon by Weird Al.
God, I forgot about the Weird Al. And when it popped up in the credits, I was like, oh shit, I forgot Weird Al made a song for this.
I thought those two songs were amazing in just a weird way.
Weird dichotomy.
I'm like, what is going on with the soundtrack?
Yeah, so let's just jump into the actual movie, shall we?
Yeah.
So we open up on an island. There's mysterious relics. There's a Slowking. That's not a Gen 1 Pokemon. That is a Gen 2 Pokemon.
This is that thing where they would tease upcoming Pokemon, right?
Yeah. It evolves from Slowpoke.
This movie teases quite a bit.
Quite a bit, yeah. And then, Graham, we got our favorite thing in the Pokemon world.
A prophecy.
A fucking prophecy. Let's go.
I do have it.
I have it written down.
Oh, okay, go. Yeah, sir.
Disturb not the harmony of fire, ice, or lightning, lest these titans wreak destruction upon the world in which they clash. Though the water's great guardian shall arise to quell the fighting, alone its song will fail, lest the earth shall turn to ash. O chosen one, into thine hands bring together all three. Their treasures combine, tame the beast of the sea.
A Shamoody prophecy.
A Shamoody.
Shamoody sounds like Djibouti.
Yeah.
Which is a country.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Shamoody is an orange.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Where'd they even find these oranges?
I don't know. I didn't think to write it down when I was writing down my things for my top 6. That's another honorable mention. Kellan, after 15 years, realizing that all of the Orange Islands are named after citrus.
Kellan is our Pokemon master on the podcast. I'm the one who doesn't know fuck all about shit and shit all about fuck all.
And we have earned our R rating.
Yeah, it's about time. But I picked up on the orange thing quicker than him. I was like, oh, yuzu. Well, that's not orange, but like citrus. It's citrus, yeah. And
all
most of them are oranges.
Most of them, yeah. All right, so we have a mysterious man. He's the one that has been reading the prophecy.
Yeah.
Who is this man?
This is this Final Fantasy motherfucker. Yeah. Like, he straight up... He doesn't quite look like a Final Fantasy character. He looks like if Julius Caesar was in a Final Fantasy game. He kind of has like a bit of a ringlet around his head, like a gold ringlet. And he's got like this white Holy Roman Empire kind of vibe.
Yeah.
And just screams of like rich bastard.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Well, I mean, what we see, absolutely rich bastard.
And that's basically all we know about
yeah. Yeah, it's very strange. They never even say his name.
You said we're not sure if they name him, so what are we going to call him?
Well, Bulbapedia and like other medias call him Lawrence the Third.
There's 3 of them?
Apparently, there's 3 of them.
It's like an evolution.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. I don't know why they never said his name in the movie. That's ridiculous.
I mean, I guess it wouldn't have had a lot of impact if Ash and the gang were like, who are you? And he's like, I'm Lawrence.
Lawrence the Third. Who the fuck is Lawrence the First? You know?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I was writing him down as weird English guy in my notes, and I was like, when they say Lawrence, I'm gonna start typing Lawrence because I already knew his name.
Okay, good.
It's like halfway through the movie, and I realized, wait, I haven't written this guy's name down.
Yeah, same. I was writing down rich guy.
Very strange. They love not naming their characters.
Yeah.
In this show. It's wild.
So the prophecy that Kellan read out, we're setting that up. That's sort of like the biggest driver for the plot in this movie. I mean, another Pokemon, anything, another prophecy.
Another storm.
And another storm. And the storm thing, I sort of remembered that there were a lot of storms in Pokemon. I didn't remember how many prophecies there are, though. And the prophecies aren't given, they're not substantiated in a way that's like, they come from something, right?
It's
like
just...
There isn't a reason that this world is so prophecy driven.
There's a rock with writing on it. This is a prophecy.
Right. Any rock, anything written. Like if someone from the Pokemon universe stumbled upon a library, damn, we would have a lot of prophecies.
So many prophecies. Oh my god.
Yeah.
So this man is looking for the 3 legendary birds. We haven't seen them in the anime yet. But he's looking for Articuno, Moltres, and Zapdos. So
game enthusiasts at the time would be familiar with these because they're in the original games. Their origins are a little bit different, but it kind of works. Articuno's in Seafoam Islands, I remember. So that's an island. So that kind of works.
Yep.
But the other 2 are different. Zapdos is in an abandoned power plant.
Correct.
And where's Moltres?
Victory Road. Originally.
Victory Road.
In the remakes, Moltres is out in the Sevi Islands.
Okay, I don't know what that is. That's like a new location?
Yeah, that's a new thing they added in the remakes.
Gotcha.
They're okay.
That's the Hey You. No, not
No,
Hey
the
You. What's
Fire
that
Red and Leaf
called?
Green.
Oh, Fire Red and Leaf Green.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Moltres was back in Victory Road in Let's Go.
Let's Go. That's what they're called. I said Hey You.
Hey You Pikachu.
Hey You Pikachu.
That's the shitty game for the 64.
That's the N64, right?
The really bad game. Yeah.
That might work nowadays, though, because
I don't know.
AI tech could create a Pikachu. Okay, you know that era? I'm sorry, I'm diverging us, but that era of gaming, like Hey You Pikachu's from late 90s. Okay, I always say this as a figure of speech. You don't need to remember it. Just like you know what era I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
There was a bit of an obsession around that with like the pursuit of the virtual pet.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't really get there till maybe like Nintendogs, when they were just like, fuck it, they're not going to talk, they're dogs.
Yeah.
And it started earlier with even like the Tamagotchi, but the Tamagotchi didn't quite, it was a big craze, but didn't quite nail what people wanted of the virtual pet thing. And then again in the late 90s with Hey You Pikachu, there was this idea of like, that's the ultimate game, a virtual pet.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if I agree, but whatever. That's like a perspective. I think Hideo Kojima has even said his perfect game would be like raising a child.
Well, have I got a game for you? It's called Parenthood.
Yeah. Right. It's called Poke Holes in the Condom.
That's unethical. Don't do that.
With Hideo Kojima.
Kojima, stop it.
Yeah,
what are you doing?
That's really weird, Kojima. The game I wanted to bring up, though, the weirdest game from that era, and I hope, is this what it's actually called? I think it's called Seaman.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's a Dreamcast game. I think it is
Pepsi Man?
No, it is spelled Seaman, okay? And it is an old Japanese man's face on a fish. And it's a Dreamcast game, and he talks to you.
That actually sounds familiar.
And in the English port, Leonard Nimoy, aka Spock from Star Trek, does the voice.
What the fuck?
Of this Japanese man fish thing.
That sounds like a fever dream someone made up one day.
It is a fever dream. It's like borderline disturbing.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's what Hey You Pikachu's all about, right?
Yeah.
Seaman.
Yeah, back to the Pokemon movie. How we got there from the legendary birds, I will never know.
Oh, yeah. We were talking about the legendary birds. I said Hey You instead of Let's Go. Classic.
Yeah. And then Kojima,
so the birds are what it's all about. Okay, what do we know about the birds? Everybody knows Articuno, Uno.
Zapdos, Dos, Moltres, Treads.
Right, so it's 1, 2, 3.
Mind blown.
Yeah, and one's ice, one's lightning, one is fire, and this rich guy in the movie says that there's 3 keys to unlock a treasure. Now, his computer systems, which are like Jarvis before Jarvis, but kind of on crack, like they're just making all these 3D animations, tell him that Moltres is the nearest. And then we get a zoom out of his airship. And one of the big things is like, so most of this movie's in sort of classic anime animation, but the airship is all CGI'd.
Yeah,
it's like kind of obvious.
Oh yeah,
I don't
absolutely.
know if it would have been at the time, but like,
I mean, it was obvious in the first movie too, because like the doors were very CG. But it gets very obvious later when the 3D objects fall through like the 2D ice.
Right.
And it's like, that looks weird.
It does look weird, but not necessarily in a bad way.
No.
I'm kind of into the jank.
It's charming.
It's charming. Yeah, exactly. We get our first cool soundtrack moment here. I thought it almost sounded like Bond villain music, kind of like ominous. And we see the airship just starts like bombing an island.
Yeah, he fires some kind of bomb at the island. I wrote, because he has everything on like this board and he's moving things around. So I wrote down, Rook takes King's Bishop 3, and then there was ice, and then there was fire or something, and then Queen takes pawn, and then he says that it's like a simple game of chess, and my mind was fucking blown. I was like, oh my god.
That's what
I'm
you're
a
already
genius.
doing.
I was making chess jokes, and then he is calling this chess. I'm brilliant. I am a master of wordplay.
Is that because rich people play chess?
Probably.
Do they though? I think actually chess is for everyone. I don't know why I said
rich
that.
people own big chess sets. Like, haven't you seen the Mr. Burns' backyard?
Right.
With the giant chess pieces with people inside? Yeah.
Yeah, I think
or under Hogwarts.
Rich people torture poor people with life-size chess sets.
It's my favorite genre. So then this guy...
Genre of what?
Then this guy plays the world's most expensive game of ring toss with the birds.
Mm-hmm.
Throws some rings at him, captures Moltres in this like ball of lightning, which is bad. Moltres, oh no.
Right. Moltres is caught. Yeah, and these rings come back. This is just sends him out of the ship. That's how they catch him. And the rich guy, okay, yeah, I noticed his simple game of chess metaphor, because then he goes, that will flesh out the king. Those are mixed metaphors. Like, are we talking about chess or are we talking about poker? flush.
Well, yeah, flush, but I don't think it's a poker metaphor. I think it's just coincidental wordplay.
Oh, it's still a king?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, we're talking, you try to flush out the chess king. You try to
I guess
force
that
him
works.
into movement.
I would have really liked if the guy then said something about how they're going to Jenga to the next island, though.
We're gonna kerplunk our way to the festival.
Yeah. Reference stupider gays. Please.
Get some elephant in there. Oh,
We're
classic.
gonna Don't Wake Daddy next.
So he's off for Zapdos next, and then Articuno, he says that'll draw out the king, the beast of the sea, Lugia, which also not a Pokemon we've seen yet in games, I believe.
The other big
Gen
tease,
2.
it would have been Lugia for sure. So then we get basically a guitar riff kicks in, and we get the Pokemonsters logo.
Yeah, we're on the shore now. We're at the gang. They're on a boat, and we're wondering where is Ash's next adventure going to be.
They're on a boat.
Yeah, some woman's boat, some random woman. Tracy wants to give the Pokemon some fresh air, and so this gives them a real good reason to do a long segment of them sending out all the Pokemon to the opening credits.
Which waits a bunch of time, but it's kind of cute, I guess.
And it's a fun remix of the Orange
Island. It's a remix of the Orange Island
Very fun.
theme song, though. And is this theme song growing on you? I know it kind of had been.
It did, yeah. But it does, yeah. I don't think it's bad. I mean, it's cheesy as hell, but what isn't in Pokemon?
I think it is bad, but I don't mind it.
It's bad, but it's like cheesy bad, and it's fun.
It's totally of the era. It feels like it's trying to be a hip hop song, but it doesn't quite want to commit. So it's not a hip hop song. I don't know what it is. But
there's some beautiful auto-tune in there, too.
In the remix.
Yeah. It's great.
Yeah, and we get this montage of like their Pokemon are all out. Pokemon are swimming around, hanging out. Team Rocket's watching from the Magikarp sub. I really noticed the animation differences here, though. I liked the animation better in the first movie, except for the bird battles, which we'll get into. But I found that the overall look of this movie is a lot more saturated. It doesn't quite pop. Things blur together a little bit for the color palette.
Yeah, I can see that. It's also like a lot of the same for the whole movie.
Yeah.
Mewtwo Strikes Back, I don't think is quite the same.
Right. There's a bit more variety of the colors. Yeah.
So, but there's a storm approaching.
Yeah, classic.
The boats are rocking, so, don't come a knocking.
Was that a line?
My line.
Yeah.
Pikachu's braving the storm like the big boy he is.
And they give him a good zoom in on his face.
Oh, yeah.
And great music here. This is the start of like the orchestral soundtrack, I guess, where it's music a storm deserves.
Yeah. That would go below the water now. And there's screams, whale sounds, shadows. Oh no.
The silhouette of a large beast underwater.
Who could that be?
A whale.
Yeah, probably.
It's literally just a blue whale.
Yeah. So we're off course now on the boat. We're in the middle of the Orange Islands. On the horizon, though, that's Shamudi Island. But Pikachu still feels that some shit is about to go down.
Oh, yeah. And Pikachu is like, he's nervous in a way he usually isn't. Yeah, that will be a big thing this movie is Pikachu's nervous.
Yeah. This whole time, though, Team Rocket in the Magikarp sub is being carried by a school of Magikarp, which was very fun.
Yeah. Okay, one thing the movies do nicely is because in the regular TV show, they generally don't animate more than like one Pokemon at a time. But here we get like 50 Magikarp.
Yeah, it's great. Also, it's hard to get used to the fact that I can't just nod to confirm something with you. Like, I need to verbally say it still.
Right.
Because
even though we're talking and normally you just would. Yeah.
So, Team Rocket then wonders if they have insurance as they smash right into a rock.
Carp insurance. We're becoming Filet-O-Fish. And Meowth breaks the fourth wall. He goes, I've seen this movie. Referring to the storm. Was that them saying, oh, yeah, I know we had an island and a storm in the last movie.
I believe it is. So we're going back to Pallet Town now. That's crazy. Mimey is out there sweeping the grass over and over again. Good job, Mimey. You're really putting in the work. Oak comes by, compliments Delia's garden.
Bite. Yeah, green thumb.
The weather's been beautiful, but just as she says that, it's not anymore. Good job, Delia. You changed it.
It's one of those things. Dark clouds roll in, even though it's the dry time of year, and Oak gets soaked. But Mr. Mime pulls out an umbrella and stops Delia from getting wet at all. Well, Oak just gets like totally drenched, and I thought that was funny.
He's not his trainer.
I thought that was funny though, just because it's like, I get you. Yeah, Delia's our queen. Praise Delia. Oak can get fucked.
I wrote in my notes during this section, Mr. Mime runs inside like a baby. Oh, no, he just grabbed an umbrella. I thought he was being a coward.
No, he was ride or die for Delia. He loves her.
So, it's a very quick downpour. It only lasts a few seconds. And then there's snow, and we see the northern lights at this time of day in this part of the country, localized entirely over Delia's garden.
But no steamed clams. It's daylight again.
Yeah, the Pidgeys start heading south for the winter. Yeah, it's clear. And then suddenly a bunch of Diglett come running down.
A squad of Diglett pull Oak's bike away.
They ruthlessly steal Oak's bike. How could they? Pokemon are all upset. There's something that's terribly wrong
Pokemon
here.
everywhere rattled. It's sort of like in a disaster movie where they're like, reports of birds around the world migrating towards the equator because Godzilla has emerged.
It reminded me of Birdemic, and I feel like we should cover that movie at some point.
Birdemic?
Yeah.
Which one's that?
Horrible. One of the worst
movies
ever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Movies like that, though, those like large scale or attempting to be large scale disaster horror movies, they all do that. They do a thing where like the deer are acting weird.
Birdemic, Sharknado, anybody?
Oh my god.
Yeah. So go back to the gang on the island. They're approached by a bunch of people en masse, and oh goodness, it's a subversion because the captain knows these people. It's a festival.
Sorry, I want to add one last thing on to Oak commenting about the Pokemon. He has a line in here where he says, something somewhere is going terribly wrong. And I was like, thanks, Oak. That was a useful contribution.
We can say that about any time of the day.
Something somewhere is going terribly wrong.
Oh, no. How awful. The captain of this boat, I don't remember what her name was. Knows people.
Marin. Her name is Marin, we learn.
They're dressed like this for a festival. And then there's another woman who's named like Carol, I think.
Yeah, and Marin and Carol catch up. Like, it's almost ominous for a second, like these bird people are going to devour them.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, hey, Marin. Oh, hey, Carol. How's it going? You doing something new with your hair? It's kind of funny.
And so this Carol explains something about her sister is the maiden for this festival or whatever. And we go to her, and she is just a bratty teen.
No bird costume. She's like, fuck that. I'm doing my own thing. Very sassy. Her name is Melody. And she's got glasses and kind of two pigtails, but like slicked back, and then jeans. She's dressed like basically a regular person in this universe.
Yeah. She probably likes the mall. How she's dressed.
She looks like a 90s depiction of someone who likes the mall.
Yes. Absolutely.
It's like they're trying to get that.
She should be in a Mary Kate Olsen movie.
Right.
Yeah.
She is an ode to commercialism as pushed to us by the Hollywood machine.
So that today's episode is sponsored by the Mall of America. Use code Go Fuck Yourself for 10% off your next purchase of $200 or more. Shipping not included.
Yeah. If you bring an extra fuck you'll get a free Wetzel's pretzel.
Free? They don't give anything out for free these days. Come on. What do you?
If you say fuck you to them, they do.
You verbally abuse the minimum wage staff.
Oh no, that's terrible. Sorry, we do not promote that. We at To Kill a Delibird rely on everybody else in the world.
All 7 billion of you, you're all integral to the success of this podcast. Thank you.
Yeah, you're doing a lot more for the world than us.
Yeah. This woman, Melody, gets introduced to Ash in the group, and they kind of freak the fuck out at Ash being a Pokemon trainer because there's some prophecy about a Pokemon trainer.
I thought that was surprising. Like there have been no Pokemon trainers landing recently. Like, okay, they're like really impressed.
Have you not played the games? They're all over the fucking place.
Yeah.
You can't do 2 steps without a battle.
Normal episode, they're everywhere. That was a good joke. Yeah, but they say, oh, you're part of the legend. You'll defeat the Titans. And Ash Melody swoops in. Wait, does she kiss him? Or she's gonna kiss him?
She kisses him on the cheek.
Right.
Eventually.
The ceremonial kiss. She's gonna give him.
Because Ash is the chosen one. They need a trainer for this festival or whatever. So she kisses him on the cheek, and Misty gets PO'd.
Right. And she says, what, are you his sister? And that's the start of a pretty weird bit in this movie, honestly, where she's like constantly asking Misty if like she's dating Ash, constantly. And you're like, okay, I don't get the point of this.
It's very parent not knowing the line when it comes to their children.
Children having friends. Yeah.
I don't know. She's cute. You gonna go out with her? No, Mom. She's gay.
And I am too. Thanks, Mom.
I've had that conversation, not the second half, but the first half of her being gay.
Right. It's like, why is it okay to just assume that friends are dating?
Oh, it's a mess. If I ever have kids, I mean, I'll probably
Yeah, but then
like
there'll be other things you fuck up.
Yeah.
So
I'll be the dad that like calls from the car as my teenage daughter is walking into the school and be like, "Don't forget your lunch money. I love you, sweetheart. You gonna say it back?" Like as in like really loud in front of all of her friends.
So you'll try to embarrass them all the time.
If you don't have a kid and you're not doing that, what are you doing with your children? Like raising them
you
properly?
would call your kids about shiny hunting.
Why? I don't shiny hunt that much.
Okay, something gaming related was my joke. Yeah.
So, Misty's not his girlfriend, whatever. And then Melody keeps talking about Ash being the chosen one or whatever. And she says, "Oh, and Misty, try not to get jealous. Misty never told you her name, Melody."
That's creepy.
What the fuck?
She go to Misty's purse, find her ID?
No one introduced Misty to anybody with her name.
That is weird. That is creepy. There's more to this island than they let on.
So, Ash being the chosen one means he has to be a part of this ceremony or whatever this thing is. And then we go to the festival and there's a fun, like, dragon puppet that's a Gyarados.
That's such a good touch. The festival, as we oversee, does have a really cool look to it. We don't spend much time seeing it, though, but dancing with this Gyarados dragon, lots of street food, and then there's like a kind of a big feast happening. And when it zooms into the feast, like where the gang is sitting, we hear kind of just as like an offhand thing. Some people, I think, including Marin, are at a table, and one of them's like, and she says, "No, but I have Krabbies." And then everyone at the table laughs. And I thought that was hilarious.
In the Pokemon movie?
Is that what it is?
I think so. What else could it be?
I don't know. I guess so. That's also funny to imagine that they have a venereal disease that they call Krabbies.
Misty is still really pissed off about this whole girlfriend thing. Ash is just wondering.
You should have called her Salty.
Why?
Okay, keep going. Sorry.
Ash wonders what his part of the ceremony is going to be.
Right.
And then there's a little flute music. Cute flute music. Melody dances around on the stage playing like an ocarina.
Yes, Melody has found the Ocarina of Time.
Melody's playing
She's
a melody.
going to use it to teleport 7 years.
And then ruin Hyrule.
Yeah.
In doing so. Damn it, Ganon. The plan all along. So they tell him, Ash, what he has to do. He has to like climb to a shrine and sing a song or something. I didn't write it down.
Yeah, it needs to get orbs from these 3 islands and then come back here, and she's going to play the song. And that's basically it. Right? It's this like ceremony where you go to the islands, get the orbs, come back, play the song, you're done.
Seems like a lot to force on some random stranger.
Hey, you random person that just landed.
Yeah.
Can you travel to these other islands?
It's like, hey, you just landed in Scotland. We need you to go 50 kilometers in every direction and get the special ball of steel, the kettle weights. Get us the kettle weights of prophecy. Bring them back to the big mountain here in Edinburgh, and then we'll give you a $5 coupon to Nando's.
Yeah, well, it could be worse. Can you please go to Belgium, France, and Spain? Come back, and then we'll play AC/DC's Back in Black, and the prophecy will be completed.
What's the prize? Is there a reward at the end of that? Like, what does the prophecy give you?
I mean, I like the Nando's idea. I think Nando's slaps.
Free Nando's for the next 2 days.
Every time I eat there, I do get sick, though. But it's always worth it.
Melody says, though, that almost all of the chosen ones come back alive.
Almost all.
She's making a silly little joke there. And then she plays a song, and he has to do this by tomorrow night. He can do this tomorrow. He can chill with the party, though, and deal with it tomorrow. He doesn't want to because he's Ash. That's what Ash does.
He wants to do it right then at night.
Yep. So they're going to take Marin's boat, and then suddenly Pikachu grabs Ash's hat and dashes off, which I thought, oh god, Ash is going to start taking constant damage now, like in Super Mario 64. Oh god.
When you lose your hat in Super Mario 64, you take constant damage?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
And Mario Sunshine.
How do you lose your hat?
There's a condor in
that steals it. Okay, yeah,
levels,
in the desert. Yeah.
And then you take damage.
Man, I forgot that.
Yeah.
Trumpets kick in during this part. Again, yeah, really good soundtrack going. and then it cuts.
Yeah, we go to Team Rocket.
They're very tired of pedaling to land.
In a destroyed sub.
Right.
Like the top's completely torn off.
They're sick over it, more like seasick over it, they say.
And then they're capsized by Marin's boat, where Ash is, and he has his hat back. It didn't seem like that hat thing really went anywhere.
No, that was just him chasing Pikachu.
Kind of weird.
That was more to like show like Pikachu's like really on edge.
Yeah, I guess so.
And Pikachu, they see Pikachu on the stern of the boat, totally determined when they get crushed. And it's like those Pikachu death eyes. They must be in their dreams, in their nightmares.
And then we go back to Slowking, our favorite little guy.
Oh, right. Did
Talks
we
to himself.
talk much about Slowking? Like, that was how the movie opened up.
We brought him up.
Yeah.
He's a tease in Gen 2.
Right, so that's a tease, right. So Slowking, what does he look like exactly, would you say?
He is basically a Slowbro, except the shoulders on his head like a crown.
Like a crown.
And he's got this red and white ruffle around his neck.
And he's standing like completely vertical
Upright,
now,
yeah.
yeah.
I love Slowking. He's one of my favorites.
I like him too, because
He's so
like
fun.
he's like an ascended Slowpoke. Like we've gotten from the Slowpoke that is sort of like a Pokemon that almost invites being made fun of a little bit, and now he is royalty.
Yeah. Love it. So, we go back to Slowbro. He's just kind of talking to himself in the... Oh, yeah, we go back to Slowking. He's just kind of talking to himself in a cave. He's like, what a mess. Oh.
Well,
he doesn't do anything
starts
about
out
it.
with a sweet sentence. So he goes, disturb not the harmony of fire, ice, and lightning. And then he just goes, what a mess.
And he doesn't do anything about it. He just stands there like the dog in the meme where the house is on fire.
This is fine. That is Slowking during
Very
this
relatable.
During this whole movie, he's kind of like,
Yeah.
things
are
happen.
happening. Oh, well. But the storm is getting bad. Melody wants to take Carol's boat to make sure that Ash is fine because she sent him off. I mean, you didn't, Melody. He made the decision to go out in a storm. So.
Right. Okay, so this is the 20-minute mark.
Is it?
Yes.
Oh, goodness.
So if you want to split it into 4, because I'm prepared to do that.
If we're prepared to do 4, we can do 4 like we did with the first movie.
4 literary hours, 4 parts. Okay. So I'm actually kind of, for first literary hour, because we're going to do them a 4 parts in this movie, the thing that kind of drew me in was this idea of like the collector as a trope, because that's what this mysterious villain is just some dude who's like obsessed with collecting. There's a Marvel villain called the Collector who just collects things.
Seems on the nose.
Right. Yeah. But who's basically like that, like kind of galactic and will collect people. It's very like creepy. There's in the book The Last Unicorn, there's King Haggard who's obsessed with collecting the unicorns. And this is a really scary villain trope actually, right? Because it's like so obsessed with the idea of collections that they're treating people like possessions. So there's a book called The Collector by John Fowles, which is about a psychologically unstable butterfly collector who then turns his interests to a young woman and captures her and holds her hostage, thinking that she is like a member of his collection.
Ew.
Very creepy. So that's what I was thinking about during this first opening part, was the TV trope of a collector in literature.
I thought your literary hour was going to be me and my amiibo collection.
Yeah, you got a lot of amiibos.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, but that's cool.
They are very cool. All right. Well, let's rate this last 20 minutes, I guess.
Mm-hmm. So
we have the 4-part with us
in
today.
person.
Oh
This
my
is
God.
incredible. What is our first one?
Graham's never seen the 4-part IRL.
It is a nice device.
First category will be Misty's exasperation. That's pretty good.
Oh, not
There's all
bad.
the girlfriend
Because
stuff.
of the girlfriend thing. She's just like freaking out. Melody's really being an ass here.
Yes.
And Misty's like too young to really like get what is happening. Like she could be just like, okay, you're a loser, like move on.
Yeah.
But it definitely gets to her.
It's very
which is kind of weird,
there. It's not quite to the Golduck thing level. Like that's the 10.
Yeah,
This
did
is
we
like-
give that a 10 for Misty's
We did.
exasperation? This isn't quite that.
So this is like an 8
And
for
this
me.
is just for the first part of the movie. Yeah, I'm gonna go with 7.5.
Okay.
Perfect 3/4 of exasperation.
All right, that's 7.75 for Misty exasperation. Category number 2 will be Team Rocket scheme.
Well, right now it's just trying to get to land.
They're just like, oh, we see Pikachu.
right.
Oh, God.
Right. They were spying on them, and then they got swept away by the Magikarp. I mean, I like that they got swept away by the Magikarps.
Yes.
Not much of a scheme yet. If we drew this later, I would give it higher.
Mm-hmm.
Because this movie actually had some really fun Team Rocket moments.
Oh, absolutely.
But, pulling it right off the bat kind of hurt it, didn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's not much in this last 20
I
minutes.
think we gotta penalize this.
It's quite low.
Yeah. 1.678.
1 point.
It's a sequence. It's beautiful.
Spreadsheet, work with me here. 1.678. Yeah, I'm just going to go flat 2.
Flat 2.
Flat 2. So that would be 1.8385 for that.
Oh, that's not good.
And we don't know what the average is yet, because there's going to be more 4-4.
Yeah,
we'll get it to you at the end.
4 sequences. All right. So getting back into the movie.
Where do we pick back up here?
This is with now Melody's worried about the gang in the storm. So back on kind of the island and runs with Misty to take Carol's boat. So Misty and Melody are going together. That's good. And at that same time, Team Rocket, we see they're pulling themselves out of the water. Well, Melody and Misty are still screaming at each other. I don't secretly like him. He's a boy and he's a friend, but he's not a boyfriend. Okay, she did tell him her off. Yeah, like good. Like just, but I think it's weird that Melody keeps talking about that stuff. Like she's down bad, right?
Yeah, I think she's jealous of Misty.
Slang.
Yeah.
She is just like obsessed with talking about relationships.
Yeah, and then Tracy runs up and he's like, "You talking about me?"
Tracy, nobody's ever talking about you except for us on this podcast because we have to.
Anyway, so they're on a boat too. Team Rocket have stowed away on this boat.
Yeah.
And then we go back to Lawrence, the weird British guy. Zapdos is detected nearby.
A shift in the balance of power. Zapdos detected. And that's it. That's all we get out of that cut. Now we get a nice back to that like disaster movie cliche about like them reporting on animals being upset. We see a news story reporting. Basically, Oak and Ash's mom are watching the news. Global climate is changed by something underwater is what they're reporting. Saying it's near the Orange Islands is where things are happening. Ash's mom immediately worried. That's where Ash is. And Oak gets a call by Professor Ivy. So that's our tie-in, to the kind of the main crux of the Orange Islands saga, besides them just being in the Orange Islands, Professor Ivy. And she informs, Pokemon everywhere behaving strangely.
They're all freaking out. They're all in heat. This is not good.
In heat.
Yeah.
That's what you think happen. Pokemon all over the world fucking.
They're all horny as hell. Yeah, Ash is on a ship. Storm is starting to ease, but the sea is getting worse. It's getting real rocky. The boat jumps, hits a rock, loses its rudder, and they crash on an island. There are stairs.
Yes, conveniently. There are stone steps.
I watched this movie at like 11 p.m. My notes are very non-descriptive.
Yeah, I'll try to fill it in. I got my usual dense ass notes.
Yeah.
Dense ass notes. Notes on ass. No.
I get every week's notes tattooed on my butt.
Yeah, that would be horribly inefficient.
Really?
We run out of room so fast.
Yeah.
Right, so there's steps hone into the side of this island, and Pikachu flies right up to them immediately.
Ash gives chase.
Yeah.
Triumphant
Marin's
music.
at the boat, still sitting there. Yeah, bombastic music. I wrote down. There's music is going very hard, and it is kind of an orchestral, very orchestral kind of classic movie music. But solid for sure. And then we see Melody pulling the boat,
surfing the waves like a badass.
Yeah, right into a wave. And this is really funny because like the thing she does with this boat is like so hardcore.
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
The wave is massive, and she's like completely sideways along this wave. And her explanation for how she can do this is she's like, I've been on boats my whole life. And Misty's like, well, I'm from a water gym, so I'm not scared at all. This is great.
They kind of look at each other with some respect, though, in this moment, which was cool.
Right.
They realize they have something
bond
in
over
common.
Water, which is good.
And then, boom, huge wave comes. The boat flies and flips over. Team Rocket go flying away. And then they land on the same island as... Who the fuck is GHG? Oh, green hair girl, Marin. They didn't write her name down.
They land on the same island that Ash and Marin have.
And she's just eating some crackers or something. She's just set up a little picnic.
Yeah.
For herself.
Yeah. She's sitting there.
Like, I don't know when the fuck Ash is coming back.
The boat crashed and says like, Ash and Pikachu ran up the rock. So Melody's boat is now stuck on the top of like a rock, and she hits a button, and a sail pops out, and the sail like catches wind, obviously, but now she's like controlling the boat through the air with the sail. Tracy points out it flies. Like, whoa, that's crazy.
And then she like scrapes up the stairs too. Like,
so now she's going up the stairs with this boat on its sail, but it's just a regular boat. Like,
obviously
how the fuck
not.
This works.
It's magic.
Yeah, and while she's driving this thing, she's even talking about, like, she's bugging Misty about being Ash's girlfriend again. Like, who is this person? She's a psycho.
You seem amazed by the boat, but this is the same world where we can trap mimes in little capsules.
Mhm.
And just from that, I want to live in that world. I want to trap all mimes in little capsules and never see them again.
Yeah, I get that. I get that. But okay, that was a joke. I was about to answer that, then I realized that was rhetorical. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm down with it. Trapping mimes.
It's
Yeah,
just a I hate mimes joke. That's all it was.
Let's trap. What else do we hate? I can't name, so they all be canceled.
So then we go back to Lawrence, weird English guy again. Moltres is kind of being tortured. He's like, misery loves company.
Yeah, you seem
Zapdos is
miserable.
approaching
Very
Fire
creepy.
Island.
Yeah.
And then back to Ash. So it was a quick one again.
Mm-hmm.
You just get little snippets. Team Rocket are ready to pounce, but Ash and Pikachu approach some altar-like structure. Pikachu points at the ball. Ash grabs it. He has the fire orb sphere thing.
Yeah, and I wrote down the music's still
orb.
slapping.
Yeah.
What orb?
Orb.
The fire orb.
So, and then we get Team Rocket, prepare for more trouble than you've ever seen, and make it double. We're on the big screen. To which Ash replies, I'll have to catch this one on video.
Nice. And that's sort
Beautiful.
of the second time they reference the fact that they're in a movie.
Yeah. And then Melody's boat flies in and nearly crushes everybody.
Right. And this is right when Team Rocket is going, well, our luck's changed and our ship has come in. And then his ship,
The ship comes
flies
in.
by them and crushes them dead, which is beautiful. And then the music for a little bit here shifts to like pirate music almost. It's kind of like jaunty and fun.
Well, they're on a boat.
Right. But the pirate music plays for like 5 seconds.
Yeah. And then Melody berates him for not waiting, and now they're stranded on an island, and she is saying this from a boat she has flown in.
Yeah, exactly. And then there's another really awkward relationship thing where Missy's talking about, I deal with that just stubbornness every day. And Melody's like, you'll get used to it when you're married. And Team Rocket listening to this, like, they have like this weird existential moment where they're like, I've always had trouble with the opposite sex. And James goes, trouble I stay out of. Is that more
This
fodder
is more
that people
fire
use
from
for the James being gay theory?
Yeah, I think so.
You're right.
It is good. It is good evidence, though. Yeah, it's a weird exchange from Team Rocket in the Japanese. This is where we kind of get a confirmed age for Team Rocket.
Oh, nice.
So they talk about how the kids are 10 years too old for, or too young for this, 10 years too young for this, and how Team Rocket are 5 years too old for it, implying that Jesse and James are 25.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I guess so.
It would make sense because they definitely don't look 10.
No, they're definitely adults.
Yeah.
Right.
Which makes the
Which
whole
makes it weirder.
obsession with Ash and Pikachu a little creepy.
That they're
but,
following these kids around. Yes, that is very weird.
but again, this is the universe where we can trap mimes and balls. So
But that's not an excuse.
no, absolutely
Because the ball mime thing has been perfectly set up. It's internally consistent. But other things are not.
Yeah.
I think those are the things that, again, are only explained by the Ash in a coma theory, right?
off
Because
with that.
that is a 10-year-old boy hallucinating.
Horrible. And then suddenly Zapdos shows up to some kick-ass bopping music.
Yeah, like
Loved this one.
progressive rock, like with keyboards. We just get so lightning is around Zapdos, and yeah, we get this prog rock keyboard going like so hard. 10 out of 10 song I wrote. Well, the lightning's going everywhere. Basically, Zapdos brought a rave to the party, right?
Absolutely.
He's bringing his own lightning. I think he's bringing his own music. Very good.
Is the DIY nightclub
Yeah.
all in one package.
Yeah, he is a phone now. We'll throw in an Articuno
Fog machine.
Fog machine.
Yeah, he's shocking all kinds of shit. Pikachu thunder shocks it, bounces right off. Zapdos shocks back, and then I just wrote in all caps, blue. There must have been blue on the screen.
Blue. There was a blue glow.
Yeah. Pikachu keeps shocking it. Zapdos kind of screams. Meowth understands what's going on here. Pikachu's trying to communicate with it. Where's Moltres? Why are you on Fire Island? This isn't normal.
Yeah, and Team Rocket go, like Jesse and James go, oh, those are good questions.
Moltres is gone, Zapdos says. Lightning shall rule over fire, and Zapdos claims the island. Moltres flew the coop.
Yeah. And there's lightning everywhere. It's kind of terrifying. The airship, Rich Man's airship, comes out of the clouds.
The Flying Fortress is what I was
Lightning
calling
is zapping around it. The music has now shifted from the prog rock thing to For Whom the Bell Tolls. There are like these bells tolling in the background. It's very cool.
And it's absorbing Zapdos' energy to power itself, making it too weak to resist capture. And Lawrence moves on to round 2 of his ring toss game, where now the rings are square.
Right. Innovation.
Yeah. Incredible.
Yeah. We're on a squares.
Never could have thought about that. It's crazy. Ring toss has never been the same since.
No, it's never been the same.
No.
He I think that he's obsessed with like those kids' toys where you try to put like match shapes, like a square, a triangle, a circle. That is Lawrence in a nutshell.
Yeah. Zapdos attempts to fend it off, but the squares trap Zapdos, as well as all the humans and the boat. Thank God he trapped the boat.
Yeah, thank God
goodness.
he dropped the boat, indeed.
And so he says, once I've captured Articuno, the real prize will appear. We go back to the ocean depths. More shadows. More eyes. What is this thing? What could this possibly be?
What could it be? It's Ho-Oh, isn't it?
Yeah, I believe it is. Yeah. So in the fortress, then, the gang is in the same room as the birds. Melody is able to read the prophecy from where she's standing. Thank God for that. Mm-hmm. And Lawrence descends upon them from his throne in a very evil manner.
Mm-hmm.
From the ceiling.
Rich guy appears. What do you think of my collection? It
Misty
began with a Mew card.
I love this because Misty yells at him. She's like, this is no way to treat Pokemon. You can't do this. This is like a collection or something. What kind of trainer are you?
What is this? Some kind of collection?
Well, I am a collector, you see.
What are we? Some kind of Suicide Squad?
What are we in? Some kind of Pokemon movie in 2000? We need the power of one of us to win. Oh my God!
When Pokemon cards were really popular, so we're gonna reference them. This is the first time they've talked about cards in the show.
First time they've talked about it in the dub. I believe we saw in Team Rocket's like junk drawer. James had some Pokemon cards.
That's cool. Yeah.
Either that or no, that was in the. I think that was in the Japanese, and they replaced it with pictures of himself.
Right, something like that. There were cards in one of the versions.
Version, yeah. But yeah, he's a collector. He started with the Mew card, and now he's playing God. I mean, look at the Sistine Chapel ass shit on his ceiling. He was very there were like cherub babies with wings flying around.
Started with a Mew card and now he's playing God. Yes, that was it. So there's this joke about JRPGs, right, like Final Fantasy games, where the first quest is like, help me find my cat. It's stuck in a tree.
Yeah.
And then the final quest is kill God. and it's funny as a joke because they actually are like that.
Yeah.
like the final villain always becomes a god, or like the cosmic entity of the universe is what you need to defeat or something.
Makes me think of Twilight Princess Zelda. Like one of the first quests is help me herd these goats. And then goats,
but there's also a cat in town.
Yeah, there's also a cat, and then the end of the game is you've saved the Twilight Realm, and Midna's some hot lady, and she's gonna go away forever. And
it's like an interdimensional.
Ganon is like in front of an interdimensional tribunal and shackled up, and it's a whole fucking Zelda's a puppet
out there. Yeah,
Zelda's a dark puppet. It's a whole fucking thing. I gotta replay that game. It's been a while.
It's pretty good.
It is.
I played I didn't finish it, but I played the Wii U one a while back.
Mm-hmm.
But I played the original too. But anyways, so is Lawrence a JRPG protagonist, or is he the villain who's becoming God?
The latter.
And now they need to kill him.
Yeah. It's gonna take a weird turn later in the movie when they murder a man in cold blood.
Right. So. But if this actually was Kingdom Hearts or some shit like that, Lawrence would also grow 3 heads and have a single wing.
He's a Hydra. Oh, God.
Exactly. And he would fuse with his ship. That actually happens at the end of Kingdom Hearts.
Well, that's
I don't know if
Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Bowser becomes a castle.
Shit, really?
Yeah.
Is that a spoiler?
No, that's the start of the thing. It's the start of the game.
Oh, man, that's castle. Amazing.
It's fucking weird. It's a great game. I 100%ed it over the last 5 days. It's wonderful.
Super Mario Wonder. It's wonderful.
Yeah. So Articuno is kind of freaking the fuck out, freezing anything it can get its wings on. And we get a weather report. All kinds of Pokemon are attempting to make it to this island.
Shamudi Island, yeah.
Yeah, Oaken Island, or Oaken Ivy, are with the news crew. Delia is also there.
In a TV helicopter, yeah.
The islands are home to the legendary birds. and we get a beautiful, beautiful drawing from Oak
Mm-hmm.
in like crayon or something. Just a couple
this
lines.
Is very
shapes.
academic.
Yeah.
Scribbling his ideas. So the two of the islands, Fire Island and Ice Island, together are known as the cradle of the ocean because they're supposedly the source of all water in the world, which doesn't make sense. But then Oak says, but it makes sense if you think about what you get when you combine fire and ice.
Yeah, and then they're like, electricity is here too.
I know. That's what I said. I wrote down, what about lightning?
There's something about like the balance of fire and ice keeps lightning in check or something, and then
Right.
if one of them goes away, lightning freaks out.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
And they kind of their explanation makes no sense, but they do sort of say, okay, I guess the end result is that if the balance between these three is disrupted, there's an underwater current known as the Beast of the Sea, which could flood the planet.
Much like when our favorite boat maker in the Bible had to make an ark.
Right, so then they had to get two of every Pokemon and bring them on. Okay, so do you get two Nidoran males and two Nidoran females, or does that count as the pair?
Nidoran male and Nidoran female can breed with each other, and they will form either or.
Okay,
the egg.
but taking it literally, is it two of every Pokemon?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, fuck it, why not?
And the male Nidorans can check up with each other, and that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's be realistic about this.
And then
It's
Noah's
one
like,
of every
but in the
Pokemon.
Bible it says, and then the Nidorans are like, no, the Bible hasn't been written yet.
It's Adam and Steve, or it's Adam and Eve, not Nidoran and Nidoran. Come on,
Right,
Jesus.
but then the Nidorans
fuck
because we support
Yes.
LGBTQ rights.
Anyway,
on this
as I was
podcast.
saying, realistically, it's one of every Pokemon and a Ditto. That's all you need. You just need Ditto.
The Ditto's the village bicycle. And then making that joke, the Ditto turned into a bicycle and bred with nobody.
Anyway, so Oak explains all of this stuff. The Pokemon are trying to kind of correct this imbalance themselves. All the land Pokemon are just like stuck waiting at the ports. They can't go any farther, so they're just sitting there. It's wonderful. Delia nods like she understands what Oak is talking about. And I mean, I don't understand what Oak is talking about, so.
Delia's smart, though. She probably does.
Yeah, sure. And then we go back to Slowking, and he finally notices he's not wearing pants.
That's his whole line. So it cuts to him. He's covered in ice and snow. And it's weird because he
wear pants.
he set us up for me to think that he's going to say something really profound when he talks.
Yeah.
But half of the time he doesn't.
Yeah. Which is amazing.
Which is funny.
Which is exactly what you expected of a Slowking.
It's a funny bit. I could use pants.
So now everything on Djibouti is covered in a sheet of ice.
And the wind's howling.
Yeah, snow stops, and they get more Articuno screaming. And they go back to the flying fort. Jesse says this beats an in-flight movie.
Yeah, so the gang and Team Rocket have been like watching at the window of the fortress, watching the Articuno freak out. Prophecy's coming true. All intelligent life will end. This is James saying that. Meowth goes, oh, then you'll be fine.
You'll be fine. So they have to set the birds free. Ash tries to run full speed into the high-tech electrical barrier.
And
like
that's
a fucking
40
idiot.
minutes.
That is?
Yeah.
Right at when he hits the barrier?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay. Well, if that's 40 minutes.
All right. So my next literary hour, I was thinking about the balance of three powers. So, Zelda, power, courage, and wisdom is like this recurring theme. And they are kind of making me think of the Triforce in this movie. Star Wars, balance in the Force, of course. But actually, there's a lot of Shakespeare plays that talk about with power balances. And basically, they'll use the crux for a plot, moving the plot forward, being that if some sort of leader is displaced, other things move in. So kind of implying that there's like in the Shakespearean world of the play that there's like a rightful ruler, and when that ruler is removed, chaos follows. Basically, something holding it in balance. If that's disrupted, chaos happens. Happens in Macbeth. happens in Julius Caesar. The other form of balancing three powers, his history book, Nixon in China, where Nixon and Kissinger, I know controversial figures, but kind of in secret tried to open up China into international diplomacy, where it was the Cold War between two superpowers. Now we've got a third in the mix, being that is more stable than two, Nixon and China.
Literary hour in person is hard because I have to look interested.
That's
I'm joking.
Yeah,
I'm joking.
Zelda in there for you.
Yeah. I appreciate the work.
I say Zelda,
right.
He's like, oh. And then I say Julius Caesar, and he's like, oh.
All right, first category for the second bout of 20 minutes will be, oh goodness, it's our pay it forward category, literal cult behavior.
Not terrible, act.
I don't think it's 0.
It's not terrible. Wow. It's actually not bad at all, I think, because...
it would have been better at the start, the first 20 minutes, with the bird people on the island.
Right.
But
the bird people are still involved here. And this whole plot is now doing stuff for... Ash is still caught up in the cult.
Yes, this is all for the cult.
This is all for the cult. The Lawrence the Third.
He's also kind of a cult in himself.
He is a cultish. He's got a cult of personality.
He wants to be a cult leader.
He wants to be a cult leader. Absolutely.
But he's just a collector.
And I think that the prophecy they're following, is cultish. It's like, who the fuck wrote this thing?
Yeah. Some dude in his bedroom 5 years ago.
Named Jim Jones.
Yeah, Jim Jones did it,
Yeah.
I believe. Well-known figure in the Pokemon universe.
Right.
Fucking Jim Jones, Jesus Christ.
With the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
And then all the Meowths drank the Kool-Aid. Oh, poor Meowths. I actually think that's not bad.
I don't think it's bad, no.
And because of...
And I'm glad it's not 0.
Right. I'm going to go 6.66 because it's disturbing. And we're trying to summon. Who is he trying to summon?
The king.
The Great Beast.
Oh my god.
Summoning the Great Beast.
Yeah, it's around there. I'm gonna go 6.4
for literal cult behavior.
So that will be 6.53 for that.
Literal cult behavior stays in the 4-4.
Stays in the 4-4. History was made today. First pay it forward category
right.
to stay in the 4-4.
Well, the Orange Islands are full of cults, notoriously.
Second category will be the Pokemon cries.
Oh, they're so good. They're actually good. We've gotten some Moltres. No, Moltres is at the beginning, but the Zapdos cries,
yes,
are great.
They are very good.
I actually think that this is a top tier cry.
And then we get Pikachu communicating with it,
right,
as well, which is pretty good.
Does it get better than Zapdos' cry?
I'm also gonna count. I need pants because it comes from a Pokemon, so I'm counting it.
Well, then that's even better.
Yeah. 8.
I think that's an actual 10 for me.
Really?
Because I'm asking you a serious question. Does it get better than Zapdos' cry?
I don't know.
And I don't know if it does. With the keyboards playing and the lightning and Zapdos screaming and the pants.
Is this the bar? I'm trying to think. Can it get better?
I don't know if cries well enough.
Can it go higher?
Can we get much higher?
Yeah, you're right. It's 10. So
Hell
it's 10
yeah.
for Pokemon cries. All right.
Hell yeah. Convinced.
Well, let's move on to the next section here.
Ooh.
Where were we?
So
he hits the force field.
You can get through the force field.
Like an idiot.
The bird cage.
Yeah. The flying fortress has approached on Articuno now. And
Time
we get
to turn up the heat.
And the shadowy underwater figure causes a whirlpool.
Current's getting even bigger.
The gang continues to try and break Moltres out with Pokemon moves. Even Team Rocket joins in using Wheezing. And this was funny because he just kind of bonks off the sphere.
Just bonks against the barrier.
Yeah. Poison Sting from Arbok, nothing. Squirtle, Bulbasaur come out, nothing. Charizard's out. Togepi waggles her fingers, and suddenly, kaboom, Moltres page blows up.
There you go. So that's how we break out Moltres with a baby.
Or it does blow up Zapdos' cages too. Zapdos fires back. They break out of the flying fortress, and they begin to destroy the flying fortress.
Yeah, Moltres and Zapdos. The birds have interesting personalities.
Yes.
Because they like to wreck stuff.
Don't we all? Let's be real.
Don't we all?
Yeah.
They like to have a good time.
They begin they blow up the fans, the propellers, the windows. They all go kaboom.
Yep, making holes. The rich guy has seen them escape.
We're in Mayday.
Oh, are we ever?
We crash land on Lightning Island, and this is where the 3D model of the flying fortress crashes through the 2D ice. And it's incredible.
Kind of is interesting looking because we get a lot of CGI with the ship going down. Well, Moltres and Zapdos are 2D. The ground is 2D. The only thing CGI in this whole movie is the ship. Right?
Is it the fortress?
I don't know.
It might be.
It's the most obvious one.
It may be. I think there might be some...
Maybe a bit with Lugia, but I'm not sure.
There might be some like 3D environments.
Yeah.
A little bit, but they're not nearly as obvious
just for like
as
panning
the
around
fortress.
kind of thing. Yeah.
So, all the birds are now flying around with their dicks out, screaming.
Okay, we've crashed on the island.
Yeah.
And the gang runs out too down this ramp slowly. Lots of destruction everywhere.
Yeah.
And the birds have their cloacas out, Kellan. That is what a bird's reproductive organ is called.
They have their dicks out.
Cloacas out for Pokemon.
So, they attempt to escape the fortress as it falls, which knocks, conveniently, the electric orb right into Ash's hand. The orb! And the whirlpool grows. Birds continue to clash.
All three birds are fighting above. Team Rocket has this nice thing now where one of them's like, I would hate to get hit by that fire. The other one's, well, I'd hate to get zapped by that lightning. And then the third one is like, well, I'd hate to get hit by their droppings. Giant Zapdos poops.
Have you ever been shit on by a bird? Let us know in the comments.
I haven't, but Shauna was once, and that was worse than me getting shit on.
My dad was... he got it in his food and his hair while we were in Australia. Got shit on by a seagull, I believe it was.
Okay, not what's an Australian bird? Not a kangaroo.
Yeah.
Cassowary.
Those things are fucking terrifying.
Oh.
So they make it to a boat just as it is rushed off the waterfall when the whirlpool breaks through the ice and carries the boat along as we get more whale cries, and it carries them directly to Slowpoke as the boat falls off the cliff with Team Rocket in it, and Slowking is like, you have treasure, put it there.
And Ash goes, you can talk.
Don't they not acknowledge it at all?
No, Ash says you can talk.
I don't. I
got it. Ash says you can talk.
Yeah.
So he is surprised here.
But from the pedestal, this is fun, you can see the respective islands through the little holes in the wall where the ball should go. That's a cute little touch.
Yeah, it's sort of, I guess, how they keep that organized.
Yeah.
Like, here's where you go for that.
You didn't want to label them. That looks tacky.
No, this is a little bit more of intuitive of an interface. So the only one we're missing now is ice.
And Slowking tells Ash, "You're one treasure short." Thanks, Slowking.
Right.
I love this guy.
Yeah. And the three birds are battling nearby. It's getting so crazy. And Ash quotes your favorite TV show. He says, "Cut it out."
Cut it out.
Right, who says that again? Uncle Joey. That's
not Uncle
name.
Joey. It's just Joey.
He's not an uncle.
No.
Okay.
Uncle Jesse's who you're thinking of.
Ah.
Yeah. Cut it out. So, the birds continue to clash, start moving towards the gang. Ash is telling them to stop, and that amazingly does not work. But he's just like, stop it. Hey, quit it.
But the timing is a little bit coincidental because something happens now.
Yeah, Lugia itself.
The torrent, the big hurling beast of a torrent opens up, and the great guardian Lugia is there singing.
Emerges from the whirlpool. He's been making the whale calls this whole time.
Right, and he emerges to hand out his mixtape.
And then disappear forever again. Right. So then we got a telescope on Lugia. Lawrence has been looking for this one the whole time. The king has shown himself.
Ooh.
Oh, goodness. Birds continue to fight. This is where we say that there's a lot of action stuff in this movie, because a lot of my notes are just, the birds continue to fight. The birds hit each other.
Yeah, and
it's fun.
I don't know how much I can even describe it. Like, it's the birds flying at each other and they're blasting.
Bonk, bonk.
Right? And that's kind of it.
Yeah.
But it's all right.
It's fun to watch. So Lugia then dives below the sea and back up in another whirlpool, which is very cool.
Comes on giant torrent again. Articuno freezes it this time. Bursts out so that I guess it's 3v1, but it's also everyone's just fighting.
Yeah, everyone's got the dicks out and everybody's swinging at each other.
And what exactly? Okay, I think this was the point where I was like, why exactly are they fighting?
Who knows?
They're just like they just fight.
They want power.
They're
I guess.
agitated
Because Moltres went away and Zapdos was like, "This island's mine now, fucker."
Right, that's the whole thing.
So they
is
just
that
want
Lawrence
power.
kicked off this imbalance, and now they're fighting, and they won't stop.
I guess so. And
Can't
Lugia
stop,
comes
won't
in
stop.
as the babysitter. It's like, everybody chill the fuck out.
That's basically what it is. Grey Guardian Lugia. And Lugia gets hit by all three elements from
Dang,
other
dang.
birds, eats it, and Melody's repeating the prophecy. And this is kind of funny.
So stupid.
This whole prophecy, this is the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
Are we going to get into it? The thing with the prophecy?
Yeah. I mean, this is where it
he
comes up.
highlights the phrase, alone its song will fail, lest the earth shall turn to ash. Your name's Ash.
So
I
stupid.
was like, oh my God.
Is this where it clicked for you when she said it?
No. I was
Okay,
going to make
good.
that joke anyways,
Yeah.
and then it was just part of the fucking movie. I was like, I don't even need to make
It
that
was the
joke.
plot driver.
It was the plot driver. That
It was
his
like my
name
chess jokes at the
was
beginning.
in there.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh man. Yeah, that's stupid. The world will turn to ash, or will it turn to ash?
Oh, and then they all looked directly at the camera.
They all soy jacked Ash. Oh, God. This your name. This is your name. Your name is Ash. Oh my God. So I have a trivia question for you.
Yeah.
What type is Lugia? What type do you think Lugia is? Or should be?
Water?
Nope.
No. Flying?
It is flying. It's part flying.
Oh, it's
Second
flying
type.
and something else, and this other thing isn't water.
Yeah.
Dragon?
No. A psychic type.
Oh,
It's
I wouldn't have
psychic
guessed
flying.
that.
Yeah, it's weird.
And I
You'd think it'd
definitely
be
wouldn't
water
have guessed that
flying.
by this movie.
It's like the king of the sea.
Yeah.
So you would think it'd be water flying, but no.
Huh.
Psychic. Very odd. Anyway, so the birds continue to destroy everything, and they try to kill Lugia, and then Lugia glows in this big burst of yellow
Mhm.
and falls to the sea.
So
and
hurt.
he falls down into the ocean. The birds are still just pissing all over the place.
They're just shitting on everything
Yeah.
now. Total bird mode.
Someone accidentally fed them some laxatives. It was a whole mess.
We cut to the news chopper. Ash's mom is still very worried about Ash. Oak is worried about them. And Ivy's worried about the whole planet.
Yep.
Okay, I get it, Ivy, but like a little annoyed. She's right. She's the person you're like, oh, look, I'm having a really rough day. And
Oh,
like,
there's children
we're
in
having
Africa
a rough
dying
day.
every day of starvation.
Global
Wow.
warming is destroying the planet. You're
Yeah,
like,
I
well, I
know.
can still complain about
And
it.
that's very shitty, but also, like, my leg hurts.
Yeah, and I
So-
dropped my gravy fries.
Worst day ever.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So the land Pokemon now have found a way over to the island.
it's freezing.
frozen. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're all here. Slowking says the only one can bring the treasure. Only the chosen one can bring the treasure to help the water guardian. But where's the chosen one?
He's the only one who matches the legend.
The earth turns to ash.
And then Ash has a great line here. Did you get it?
The quote that I have is "Hold the fuck on." I don't think Ash says that.
No,
in the movie.
he says, I wish my
yeah.
mom had named me Bob. And then the world turned to Bob.
Yeah, that's great. I did have that written down, but I had "hold the fuck on" earlier in my notes, and I was like, I don't know, I don't think that's it. So, yeah, Melody wishes she didn't drag him into this though.
Mhm.
But I mean, you kind of is a prophecy. You had
It's
no
a
choice in it.
prophecy. His name's
Yeah.
Ash. You don't write the rules, lady.
So Melody remembers the sound it makes is like the song from the legend song. The sound Lugia makes, and so she starts playing it on her little
Pulls
ocarina.
out her ocarina. She presses up C, right C, down C.
Lugia is falling to the sea floor,
Glowing.
and it awakens again, bursts above the sea in this glorious rainbow whirlpool thing. It's pretty fucking sweet,
Woo.
and it also speaks English, like Slowking. Why are all these Pokemon talking?
This is the psychic type part.
Yeah, I
right?
guess so.
The song restores my strength when the three treasures align.
But it will not bring peace to the warring birds. It needs the chosen one to gather the last treasure, and in doing so, with Lugia's song, harmony will be restored. And then he looks directly in Ash's eyes and he's like, and the world shall turn to ash. So just making sure he gets it.
Right.
Making sure to drive it home.
There's no subtlety
Yeah.
here. It's like they keep just going, nudge, nudge, you get it? His name's Ash.
It's prophecy rules. You can't just say it outright. You have to
Right.
repeat the prophecy over and over again until
over
they
and
get it.
over.
Yeah. But Ash doesn't think he can do it. Pikachu restores some confidence in him. Very cute. Love that from Pikachu.
Mhm.
And so I'll do all his other Pokemon on hand as well. He starts to cry. like a fucking baby, am I right?
He's tearing
Get
up.
wrecked.
What if I mess up? I mean, he's got a lot of pressure on him. He's like, I can't do it. But then he's like, I can do it.
And he's like, I'm the chosen one. And then we cut to him traipsing through the snow, and he goes, right now I feel like the frozen one.
Nice. Good one, Ash. He's good jokes lately, Ash.
Yeah. And Pikachu points out the wrecked boat, so they take a little bit of the steel and they bobsled their way across the snow.
To like the
Which is
007
awesome.
GoldenEye pause music.
This is so good.
It's like a crazy beat. It's hitting hard. Well, they're just like sledding on this piece of metal.
It's
Ash's
wonderful.
Pokemon are like pulling him while he's
Squirtle,
tied
Bulbasaur,
to
and
this.
Charizard.
Yeah.
Which is cool. See Charizard actually helping out, finally.
Now, Team Rocket's watching. They're like, he's always the hero. We're the zeros.
Mm-hmm.
We could be heroes too if we caught a break.
And then the helicopter crashes.
Interesting.
Oh, everybody's okay,
They're
though.
okay. So
Yeah.
that wasn't a big deal. But Team Rocket has an idea that will come back.
They see the working fan and their safety raft from earlier.
And they
On the
learned
boat.
Ultra Hand
Yes,
so
yeah.
they can use it.
So back to the bobsled. It's awesome fucking music as the
Yeah, the
birds
beat
attack
continues.
Ash and Lugia. They keep fending off each other with impeccable dodges and Lugia's shield. The birds destroy some ice, sending a wave
What is
in.
the shield? He has
don't
a
know.
force field.
Protect, I guess.
I
huh?
guess.
Ash recalls Charizard quickly. That was kind of weird.
Yeah, well, the
I don't
ice
know
is
what
cracking. It pulls them
Yeah.
in.
Articuno refreezes it, creating a very large ice wall that Ash cannot get over. It seems futile to try.
And the Ash is called discouraged.
And then Team Rocket comes gliding in on their new Ultra Hand raft.
If that kid thinks we're here for trouble,
We're certainly going to burst his bubble.
instead of causing tribulation,
We've undergone a transformation.
although it's way outside our usual range,
We're going to do something nice for a change.
Jesse.
James,
Up till now, Team Rocket's been quite unscrupulous.
being good guys for once would be super dupulous.
That's right.
That's right. And Ash is like, what are they doing here?
It's like, seriously, what are you doing
What
here?
what the fuck are these guys on about? Jesus Christ. And they're like, of course we're gonna help. If the world were destroyed, we'd have nothing to steal. We'd be out of work.
That's right. Very economically driven. So they take Ash. So this thing they've created was basically they've taken a lifeboat, they've taken the propeller from the
Mhm.
plane, and they've created a hovercraft.
It's pretty sweet.
It's pretty sweet, actually. Yeah.
I noted though that their fan doesn't even have a cover on it, which is very dangerous.
It is
Osha's
very
gonna have a field day here.
Oh, they'll be written up for sure. Countless fines.
Yeah.
Straight to Giovanni.
Yeah, and they also know when was the last time we had a vacation? It was like 2 episodes ago.
Yeah,
Guys.
you have vacations all
You
the
took
time.
an unsolicited vacation like very recently.
So Team Rocket on this thing, they're dodging the birds because the birds are still out for blood. They slip onto the island, the ice island, and slide right into a cave. And then here we get, like, this is kind of where some of these animations I didn't like nearly as much as the first movie. And this is like a good example of this. They're going through this cave and it's sort of a repeated animation for a while. And then they even repeat the whole sequence twice. But then eventually they get out and slide up to the ice shrine. Pikachu jumps out, finds it, ice orb. Ash grabs it. Let's go, Meowth says. Music hits, and Articuno attacks.
Yeah, I'm gonna push back. It's not reused footage. Ash is just showing how Ash is a very good, consistent driver of this raft.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what it is.
He can hit his marks perfectly.
Yeah, exactly. He tried to do it and he did it over and over again. So that's what that is. So, yeah, Ash grabs the ice ball, starts to glow. Earlier in the movie, I think Slowking was like, "Only the chosen one will have the ball glow in their hand." And so we see the ball glow in his hand. We're like, "Oh my god, the world's turning to ash! Holy shit!"
Ash.
We gotta get back to the island.
Right.
And then Articuno blasts him. Anyway, he started blasting. They take off, but Zapdos cuts them off. Moltres burns the raft up.
Oh my
They
god,
keep
boat's
fighting.
gone.
Articuno goes down.
Oof.
Oh shit. But Pikachu's found a way up and over the
And
ice.
that's
and
the
it's at
60-minute
20
mark,
minutes.
yeah.
Oh goodness. Cliffhanger.
All right. So the TV trope I was thinking of, or the literature trope I was thinking of, is this idea of bad guys helping because they don't want the world destroyed. So the book Good Omens, I believe by Terry Pratchett. It's about a demon named Crowley who likes the world and doesn't want to bring the apocalypse along with his other demons to ruin everything because he's having so much fun. So he teams up with an angel who has spent too much time on Earth and now considers heaven unbearably boring. And so they bond up to postpone the battle between good and evil to save the world because, you know, the evil that they like is better than utter destruction.
Yes.
That was Team Rocket's whole turn here that I like.
I feel like there's other examples of that trope that I cannot think of.
I think that it's whenever you kind of deal with like petty villains, I guess, and then you have like a galactic or an existential threat sort of villain, and then they're like, well, I didn't want to destroy the world. I just wanted to steal an orange.
Dr. Doofenshmirtz. All he wants to do is take over the tri-state area.
I don't know this one. What is Dr.
Phineas and Ferb.
I don't know Phineas
Oh my
and Ferb.
god. I thought you would at least have heard of it.
I think that was after me. No, I've never even seen it.
Oh my god.
It's like a platypus, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Well, Phineas and Ferb are stepbrothers, and they do crazy things like build roller coasters during the summer. But Dr. Doofenshmirtz, in a separate storyline, is always coming up with some weird plot to take over the tri-state area.
Okay.
Specifically the tri-state area. And all of his gadgets end with Inator, like the Shrinkinator or the Hairinator or whatever. Yeah. And he's always stopped by Phineas and Ferb's pet platypus, who is secretly a secret agent.
Oh, and that's the only thing I've seen from it is the platypus.
The way that Perry saves the day saves everybody from Dr. Doofenshmirtz is also what ends up scrapping and getting rid of Phineas and Ferb's project for the day, right before Phineas's sister Candace can show it to their mother and get them in trouble for doing dangerous things. And that's how every episode goes.
Okay.
So
great.
Anyway, Dr. Doofenshmirtz.
Is there someone who wanted to destroy the world?
No, but he doesn't want to take over the whole world.
Oh, okay.
He wants to just take over his little section.
Right.
So,
he's happy with that.
Yeah.
Let's rank these last 20 minutes. The Battle of the Birds.
First category will be
Nash.
Silly Pikachu moments.
Oh, he's so serious.
He is very serious. He's not silly, but if he's being serious, that's kind of silly too, because he's just a little guy.
I guess so. Like the Pikachu death stares are pretty good.
They're funny. They make you chuckle.
But he's so anxious this whole episode. Or not episode, movie.
Yes, this is a film.
So it's not very silly. Like, I don't want to go higher than a 3.
And, like, I don't know how many bits specifically in this last 20-minute chunk.
Yeah, I don't want to go higher than a 3.
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
I mean, Pikachu's on the raft, and that's just fun. He finds the ice wall, and it's cute. And he's just serious. Yeah, I'm kind of with you.
3.33.
Yeah. Is that what you're doing? Or
I'm doing 3.33.
3.333.
So I did a 6.66 before.
And, oh no, that's myself. Shit. I'm going to do 3.72. Not the comma, the fucking period. Oh my god, what is wrong with me? So that is 3.52665 for Silly Pikachu moments.
Okay.
Category
and our
number
second
2.
Category is
The Pokemon variety.
Birds.
Not bad.
Birds.
Pikachu.
Ash uses a bunch of Pokemon.
Bulbasaur, Squirtle, Charizard. Is this the section where we see all of the Pokemon show up?
Yeah. They've assembled
They're
around
not featured,
Shibuya.
but it's a ton of them.
A shit ton. I actually think that should get really high. Because that's what Pokemon variety is about. Is like, are we seeing a lot of Pokemon? We kind of see like all the Pokemon.
There's a quantity versus quality discussion to be had, I think.
But the birds.
I think in this in this situation, quantity outweighs quality.
I think this should be high.
Because, like, there's just like a fuckload of them.
How could you get higher than this?
I don't know.
I'm going 10. It's so varietous.
There is so many, but I just feel like...
You feel like there could be more attention given.
I feel like that, yeah. I'm going to say 8.5.
Okay. I mean, that's reasonable.
We can't be throwing around 10s constantly.
Nah, I'm in a 10 mood.
So that is 9.25 for Pokemon variety. We got one more section to go. Pikachu has found the way up and over the ice wall.
Yeah, over the ice wall. The earth is flat. The music is jamming. You heard about the ice wall? Okay.
Ash starts to run down the side of a mountain, which was pretty fucking cool.
Yeah.
It was wild.
And Lugia shows up beside him and just starts talking to him like, bro, you got the goods.
Ash hops on. So does Team Rocket, barely. They grab on
his
at the
foot,
last second. Off they fly. Lugia starts flying high in the air.
music's going nuts.
Avoiding beams from the other three birds. Team Rocket then note they're weighing Lugia down. James says they should try Weight Watchers.
It's too late for that.
I hear it's never too late if you stick to the program.
So they shoved an ad into the movie.
It's so weird.
It was weird. I was like, is this really happening? That must have been like a motto or a slogan that was used back in the day. Never too late if you stick to the program.
But they make the noble choice. If they don't let go, Ash and Lugia may not make it back and save the world. It's time to protect the world from devastation.
and to blast off for good.
And they drop.
They're doing the right thing. They're holding hands.
Ash calls out for them.
Let's not say goodbye. Let's say we're gonna die.
But they don't.
No,
they fall in the water.
Gyarados has broken through the ice, and there's a convenient pond there that they fall into.
They should have just made them smack onto the ice and just not die.
I mean, they basically
don't die
are like
every episode,
immune to death. Yeah.
So, they fall in the water and they're met with all of the Pokemon that have made their way here. Ash asks Lugia why all those Pokemon are here, and then we get an explanation that I really don't understand.
The Pokemon are here in case they're needed. They're not sure why they're here because Ash is the only one that can make all the difference. That's what Lugia said. So,
what?
Yeah,
they don't know why they're here.
That
but they
was
can do to help,
confusing.
and that's why they're here.
That is what he said.
Huh?
They're here in case they're needed. They don't know why because they're there just in case. They know it's serious. They're there just in case. That's basically what Lugia says.
Yeah, it's weird. And yeah, Lugia says that just one, or Ash asks what that means, and Lugia's like, that just one Pokemon could help the world would be worth the journey for thousands any day.
Yes.
But this day, the one that can make all the difference is you.
And the world turns to Bob.
And so basically Lugia is saying, all of these Pokemon showed up, but they can't do shit. It's you, Ash.
But they're here
we have
in
to
case
turn
they
to
can.
Ash.
And they're all going to stare at you while you do it.
Yeah, they're not even animated in any of these moments. They're just standing there staring. Great.
So he's flying off. Lugia's carrying Ash to the island, and then the triangles attack. Lawrence and the
round
triangles.
3 of Ring Toss. The hardest round, the triangles.
This is for all the
We've
marbles.
lost a lot of square footage here.
This is for all of the hungry hippos.
Yeah.
The rich guy.
Soon
Lugia will be mine.
All of the...
Can't name one other stupid game, can you? You're that fried. Bocce balls.
I already said Elefun. Fuck.
It's fun getting into trouble. Mousetrap.
Mousetrap. Sorry. Tiddlywinks.
Ooh, Tiddlywinks.
Tiddlywinks. Simply titillating winks, if I do say so myself.
Lugia's fighting off the triangles, and then he starts to fire in Malaser at the airship.
Some beautiful hyper beams.
Yeah.
Love it. Demolishes the fortress.
Falls into the water, busts the triangles up.
The Lugia thinks it's failed for some reason. I don't know. You were kicking ass, Lugia.
Yeah. Well, because Ash is fallen too. So he's in the water.
Tornadoes.
And Pikachu's waking him up. Yeah, Lugia's saying I have failed because there's tornadoes everywhere. So the weather's like getting worse during all of this. The world is devouring itself.
Melody gives the ocarina to Misty. She's like, legend or not, Ash can't do this alone. She tries to give the ocarina to Misty. She refuses, and she tells Misty, you'll have to play Lugia's song. I'll go look for him. And Ash is never really alone because he's got me.
Oh.
Aww. Very sweet. And then Melody and Misty lock hands. I think they respect each other now.
Yeah.
It's great. Ash is knocked out in the ocean. Pikachu's keeping him afloat. Misty swims out to save him, and Tracy pulls him back in with a rope. And Misty resuscitates him by rocking him back and forth.
Wake up, dummy.
You idiot, you fell asleep in the water. What are you doing?
Yeah, and Ash grabs the ice orb, is trying to walk up. Gotta do this. He's his legs are weak, arms sweaty, mom's spaghetti, but he's got one shot, one opportunity. He's determined.
One chance. Do not miss your chance to
mom's spaghetti. So he walks to blow.
I hear this opportunity comes once in a lifetime,
Yo. Yeah. So he walks up the steps to the shrine. Triumphant music is playing, not composed by Eminem. Ash, I'm
just
probably
it just
not.
plays without you by Eminem. That's what it is. It was weird.
Okay.
Real Slim Shady go around the outside.
The final treasure. Tornadoes everywhere. The orb is glowing. And then suddenly we're in a cyberpunk reality and green goo fills in the place. And the gang is in some alternate green goo realm.
Yes.
What was going on here?
Spreads across the surface into the nearby pillars, turning them to ice or something.
Uh-huh.
Melody approaches the pedestal, plays her song on the ocarina, and the pillars begin to shine in unison with each note.
She plays Stairway to Heaven. It takes 7 minutes.
A lot of needle drop moments in this movie.
Yeah.
It's very strange.
Uh-huh.
And so the birds, fucking exhausted after hours of screaming at each other, and shitting all over the place.
What birds do.
They hear Melody's melody. They calm. The storm calms as well. The tornadoes disappear. The green goo flows down the island, sprouting a meadow of flowers and spreading across the whole sheet of ice created in the bird's war.
Presumably across the whole world, now healing it.
The birds
Big
start to fly again,
sounds.
but they don't fight. When Lugia reemerges from the ocean's depths, the ice has melted, the storm has calmed, and all is back to normal. Lugia lands on the island, beckoning Ash to climb aboard.
Mm-hmm. Ash gets on Lugia. They fly to the music.
Continuing.
The song is hitting. Lugia
now
makes
it's
big
fully
waves
orchestral
through the sky. Well, the rich guy who's crashed on the ground is just watching this happen.
He just disappeared.
Okay, all right.
Okay, I guess I'm done. I guess I don't have any more lines in this movie, huh?
And then the Pokemon who all showed up at Djibouti, follow this big water thing that's going through the sky.
Yeah, it's like a giant water swirling
away
park.
from there.
Yeah, Lugia was like, guys, get off the ice before you drown, before it shatters and you fall into the ocean.
Which is what happens to this giant water thing. And then the birds go back to their islands and Melody finishes Stairway to Heaven.
Yeah.
with the whole big guitar solo, the Jimmy Page guitar solo coming out of the ocarina. It's wild.
I do love the Melody song throughout all this, though. It starts with just the ocarina and goes fully orchestral.
It's actually nice, yeah.
When all the big stuff is happening and Ash is flying on Lugia, and then as it winds down, we go back to just the ocarina. And it's that's very simple audio design, but it's very effective.
The music in this movie is good.
It is very good.
I'm not just memeing. There's meme-worthy music in it, as we'll get to, that kind of play us out. But
making chancy and Matt.
Everybody, Pokemon.
So the people on the island look at the ocean in disbelief. Just get a tiny shot of them. I feel like we didn't really need to go back to them at all, but whatever. And back to the gang. Lugia says the beast of the sea has been tamed. The fate of the world couldn't have been in better hands, and takes off. Back to the ocean floor to rest until some other collector psychopath tries to start another apocalypse.
Yeah, I'll just chill down here till the freaks need me again.
Till Lawrence V comes along.
Oh my god. If you don't teach where the generations go wrong, Lawrence V. Oh my god.
Then we hear Delia calling for Ash. Her and Oak and Ivy and all the helicopter people are climbing down when we get...
Yeah, and Oak says, "Oh, my lumbago."
Oh, my lumbago. You are Klaus. Delia's pissed at Ash, though.
Oh, she's so mad.
He is in big trouble.
And he's like, "But I was saving the world." And she's like, "And I almost lost my whole world."
He looked at her and he's like, "The whole world had to turn to Ash."
Get it?
Get it? It was the prophecy.
She says, "Next time, save the world a little closer to home."
Next time, I'm naming you Bob.
The whole world could turn to Bob. It's like, what if it's so tied to him that they change his name and all the prophecies change?
No, the whole world had to turn to Billy.
Yeah, the world's turned to Franklin.
The turtle? Oh, God.
Yeah, it's a crossover. We love crossovers on TKAD.
We do. So she misses him all the time, she says. Very heartfelt moment between Ash and his mom. She never knows if he's all right. Maybe it could the next time he saves the world be closer to home. Every day.
Characters all just look at each other.
He's her hero. Yeah.
That's kind of awkward.
Oak's ready to get back to Pallet, though, and tell all the other researchers
about this.
It's about Lawrence finds his Mew card amongst the rubble.
It reminds
rubble.
What started... he didn't learn his lesson. He was just like, "I'm still a collector, bitch."
Yeah, I couldn't tell if he learned his lesson or not, because he was like, "How it all began, and how I'll begin again." And I couldn't tell if he was like, "I'm starting over. I've learned. I'm going to do this right."
Or if he was
if he was like, "I'm going to do it again. Fuck you.
Y'all hating. I'm just going to straight up murder people next."
So, no idea if he learned his lesson. I don't believe he ever shows up ever again, so we'll never find out. Meanwhile, Team Rocket have reached land, and for once they're the heroes. Too bad no one saw them.
No one saw it.
And Slowking's like, "A lot of people saw what they did, and are watching you." right now.
And he points into the
To the
camera. And they all look at the audience. It's kind of freaky.
And then we get a Simpsons reference.
This is a Simpsons reference?
Yeah,
this
I believe,
bit?
Mobilepedia pointed it out. I believe this is originally a Simpsons bit.
Oh my god. So they're like, that's not bad. That's good. What if the boss finds out?
That's bad.
We'll start our own gang.
That's good.
But we've got no money.
That's bad.
Then we'll just steal some.
That's good.
Or
Where's
is that
bad? Oh.
Okay, and then
And
that's the movie.
End credits.
The credits kick in, and we get The Power of One by Donna Summers, which is a banger of a song. I don't know what the story is behind this song being created, or if it was
idea.
like, it's so generic, it could have been written and sang for something else, and then like shopped around, like they were selling it to movies.
Yeah, the Pokemon team found the song, and they're like, oh my god, we could make that the subtitle. Holy shit.
Yeah, we're talking to the marketing team in the US, and Lugia's explosive birth isn't quite landing with them for the subtitle. What do you think of this Donna Summers track?
And then the great Donna Summers track fades out, and we get Mickey Chansey, or something like that. Mickey Chansey, and too bad, party, butterfree, everybody Pokemon.
Which is really good. So everybody look up Pokemon.
It's great.
Pokemon
Pokemon.
by Weird Al.
It's wonderful. The full version is not
We
in
get
the
Weird Al
credits.
and Donna Summers in a Pokemon movie.
And that, my friends, is the movie.
That's it. We crushed
Pokemon the
it.
movie 2000 Power of One.
Last literary hour. The Chosen One trope. So I mostly just stuck with movies because the Chosen One stuff is like so common in that. Like, and of course it goes, the origins of a Chosen One trope though are from mythology and religion, right? So like destined heroes, messiahs, like they basically were like, you're the Messiah. But you know, it's in so much movies. Poe from Kung Fu Panda is a good one, right? Because it's like, is he the chosen one? Is he not? Like you're going back and forth the whole movie. Jake Sully from Avatar is sort of a chosen one. Even Harry Potter is like a subversion of chosen one tropes in a way, at least like by the end.
Yeah, because there's like, maybe it's Neville. But the book is not named Neville Longbottom, and the Half-Blood Prince. So.
Well, right, and it's almost like Voldemort creates his own sort of antithesis. Anakin and Luke, like, which one is the chosen one? Is it Darth Vader? Is it Luke? Like, blah, blah. I know people are very opinionated about
every
that.
Zelda game, you're the chosen one, pretty much.
It's such a trope. And of course, our boy, Baby
Pokemon.
J. Jesus.
You're pretty much always the chosen one as well.
You're a chosen one.
You're not really a chosen one. You're just the 10-year-old that saves the world every time.
You're the one who happened to turn on the game.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get in that final.
Let's do that final
ranking.
rating. First category. The final first category today will be Psyduck.
How we feel about Psyduck right now? I always feel great.
He wasn't there at all.
I wish he was in the movie.
Yeah.
So all my feelings are about I wish Psyduck was in the movie.
He showed up, like, I think at the beginning in the opening credits when they were all letting out their Pokemon. Aside from that, I don't think he was in the movie at all.
I want a side plot. This movie needed a B story. It didn't have a B story. It needed a B story where Psyduck was trying to get, like, take out, like, insurance or something like that. But, like, no one was listening to him. So it's like this whole quest of it. He's like trying to insure the team better because like he's actually thinking about their finances, but no one's like taking Psyduck seriously. I wanted a Psyduck B plot.
Why is that specifically what we want from this?
That's
Why
what I
is
want.
he taking out insurance?
Because nobody else is. They don't care about the destruction. Like, do these kids have life insurance? Like, what if they don't become Pokemon masters? And Psyduck's looking into it, but it's a very hard process. No one's taking him seriously. He gets a big headache. He freaks out, and he creates his own insurance company with his disable attack.
Psyduck, the insurance broker, goes on the list. The fan art list. I want that. That'd be great. Psyduck's insurance company.
So, I mean, how I'm feeling about Psyduck now is pretty high because I made that up.
That's true.
So how does that come back to the movie?
It doesn't.
Were there any Psyducks in the Pokemon who surrounded?
I don't know.
It's probably a Psyduck.
Probably one.
I'm going 2.
Oh, geez. I thought you were going to go end up like 8 or something.
Well, I don't know. How do you want me to interpret Psyduck, question mark? This is one that's still tricky for me.
It's literally just how do you feel about Psyduck at this moment?
Well, then an 8, actually.
That was a big swing.
Because I made a good story.
He did. It was good. My feelings about Psyduck, I mean, we haven't seen him in a while. Peek the curtain, we haven't recorded in a while. So, like, I haven't even been thinking about Psyduck much. Like, but I still love Psyduck.
You don't think about Psyduck each and every day?
That's like 5.8 for me. So that is a 6.9. Nice.
Nice.
Nice. All right, final category for the power of one will be Ash Moron moments.
He saves the world.
He saves the world.
He's genius.
An idiot like Ash could never save the world.
Does this sequence have the part where he's like, I'm not the chosen one, more like the frozen one?
I don't think so.
Or is this ending just like bird battles?
This is like just bird battles. And Melody and Misty having a nice moment.
Well,
Lugia
he's not
flying
a moron,
around
man.
with his dick out.
He's not a moron.
He's not stupid. He agrees to save the world closer to home next time, which I don't think you can make promises like that, Ash.
You think that was a moron moment?
I don't know. I'm trying to pull things out here.
No, he's just
like, why are all the Pokemon here?
That was a good question.
What do you mean? He doesn't understand Lugia's explanation.
Yeah, we didn't either.
Yeah.
So that's morons, maybe.
Maybe. I mean,
Raven colored moron moments.
Yeah, that's weak. It's like, but I can make arguments for a couple, so it's not like a 0.
Right.
He calls out for Team Rocket when they fall off Lugia. He's like, no! But they needed to do that. I mean, did they really need to? How much extra weight is that? Lugia's a big boy.
Yeah, he was doing fine.
That's like 3.
Yeah, I mean, I can't go very high here. I don't know. 2.5? Sure, 2.5.
3 and 2.5 makes an easy 2.75. That is 8 categories. We want to know the full average for Pokemon the Movie 2000.
Yes, please.
All right, well, let's go through these. The Power of One, Misty Exasperation we pulled got a 7.75. And Team Rocket's Scheme got a 1.8385. Literal Cult Behavior scored 6.53, while Pokemon Cries got a perfect 10. Silly Pikachu Moments started to dip here, 3.52665, and Pokemon Variety with a 9.25. And then finally, Psyduck with a 6.9, nice, and Ash Moron Moments with a 2.75, leading to an all-around average score for Pokemon the Movie 2000. Drumroll, please. 6.0681435.
Higher than the first
Higher than the first movie. Still not particularly high.
Not bad. This
above average.
I think this movie was a 6.
It was fun.
This is a 6 movie for me. It was fun, but the plot was so unmemorable.
Yeah.
But the music was fucking awesome.
I remember
the birds were awesome.
I haven't seen this movie in years. I remembered Lawrence having a way bigger part.
Really?
But he did not.
No, he's a catalyst, but that's it.
He kicks it off. But
yeah.
After Zapdos and Moltres break out of their cages.
Yeah, and Lugia fucks up his ship like cleanly. Yeah.
Like he tries to capture Lugia, but he fails.
Mm-hmm.
So he really doesn't do much of anything.
No, he's just a catalyst, and he's got no personality.
Yeah,
besides,
he's just evil.
I'm a collector. Oh.
Yeah, and
I collected a Mew card.
We don't even know if he's grown.
Yeah, you don't know anything about his journey. So
yeah, but overall, I still think it's an enjoyable watch.
Yeah.
So
it is an enjoyable watch. I would recommend watching it.
Yeah. If you're watching through the anime, don't skip it.
But for it's like kind of like a weird experience. But you can say that about this whole Pokemon journey we've been on.
Yeah.
Right.
And the action scenes are fun. Slowking is fun.
I think seeing the legendary birds in action is good.
The music's great.
The music's the best part.
I think like there's some good stuff. I think Melody's a fun character.
She's fine.
She's a good character, I think.
At least when she lets down her like weird running relationship pushing.
Yeah, like if we drew the character of the day ball with Melody being that character, I think I would have given it a pretty high score.
Okay,
it's like it's not necessarily like how much do we like this character. It's like an unlikable character doesn't mean a bad character.
No, for sure.
So
for sure, she's at least distinct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, is that it?
Any
other thoughts?
We got through the movie.
Oh, I had one literary hour comparison I wanted to make.
Okay.
To the 2003 Cat in the Hat, because there is also a bad guy named Lawrence. Thank you.
Thank you. Lawrence of Arabia. There's a character named Lawrence.
Yep. Yeah, that's it for the movie.
2004, is it? Rain of Fire, because the world turns to ash in that. It actually does.
Oh, man.
Yes, we got through Pokemon 2000, the movie. Fun enough movie. Not as good as the first one, in my opinion, but worth watching. I am curious where the movies go from here, because my memory of them is awful. Like, I only really remember the first movie. I've seen the first 3 at least. Maybe I've seen Pokemon Forever. I'm not really sure.
I have definitely seen the first 4. I have the first 4 all on VHS. I almost wanted to try to see if I could get my parents' VCR working and watch this on VHS, because that would have been
authentic
fun. But
CRT experience.
I did not get to it. Yeah, unfortunately. Well, that is...
Yeah, that's the movie.
That is the movie. And that is it for today.
Yeah, should we... you want to tell us what we're doing next week?
Yes.
Should we end this thing?
So next week we're doing 2 more episodes. It'll be episode 108, The Pokemon Water War, or in Japanese, Firefighting Showdown! Zenigami versus Kamio.
Ooh.
Just fun. Followed by episode 109, Pokemon Food Fight, or in Japanese, Burn! Kabagon! !
Ooh, a level exclamation mark.
Join us for that next week.
All right, so this has been To Kill a Delibird.
In person!
Recap, rediscovery, revisit, relive, rejuvenation of Pokemon the Movie 2000, The Power of One, also known in Japanese as Lugia's Explosive Birth, which is a brilliant name. Catch us wherever fine podcasts are downloaded. Please leave comments on the YouTube channel on Hydra Leech. You can email us at tokilladelibird@gmail.com. We also have a Twitter, same handle, To Kill A Delibird. Intro and outro music is 80 Synthwave by Alexi Action. And Kellan runs a TikTok. Hydra Leeches is the channel. Good content there for Pokemon anime errors and oddities is the series.
And thank you to my father for supplying the audio equipment for this episode.
To Kellan's father for the audio equipment.
This in-person episode.
And let us know how you find the audio.
Yeah. Oh, it should be fine. Hopefully, this is like actual equipment, not our little snowball mics. So
yeah. All right. Well, thank you for listening, and tune in next time.
Bye-bye.